welcome to my Tarot Corner. So today it will be just one more reading, as unfortunately we have to go in not even an hour, to a funeral. One of my good friend's mother died suddenly yesterday, and I don't know if you know, but in Jewish tradition, we do not keep the dead too long, and usually within 24 hours there is a funeral. So, and she's a very, very good friend. She always stood by me with all of my losses, and I had my share of losses in my life. So I have to go there. So I have time for one reading. So I was thinking about all of the possible subjects, and I've decided to let the Harkles sleep. Let them rest for a while and ask a little bit about Prince Andrew. So before I start, this is a tarot reading. It is vibrational. It is open to interpretation. It exists as assumption and speculation, and as such may or may not be true. So please do your own research and decide for yourselves. So Prince Andrew has gone through a lot of transitions in the past few years. He lost almost all of his titles, and now there is also a call in Parliament to draw out a new law that will allow the Queen to, or the monarch, whoever it is, to take away his ducal titles as well. Now, many people look at it as a good thing because it will only also allow Harry's titles to be gone. But I feel a little bit uncomfortable, to say the truth, but with punishing a person so much without having concrete evidence to his fault, and the fact that he decided to settle with Virginia Giuffre, who herself is now being sued for sexual assault. So the fact that he's decided to settle with her is can be seen as a point to his benefit, because he didn't want to spoil his mother's jubilee, and not just because he thought that he had no chance of winning. So we don't know, and this hasn't gone into trial, but it looks like Prince William, who is one of the most fearless and strong people in the royal family, if not the strongest, it doesn't want Prince Andrew around. And despite the fact that Prince Andrew was trying to get his daughters to be working royals, it looks like it's not going to be. And now we know that Princess Eugenie is making a move to Portugal, which I'm not sure it's a permanent move or whether it's a half-time, but she's moving to Portugal with her husband on his business. And I heard yesterday about that place where he's working and all of the possible problems in that place, but also that there is a possibility that Prince Andrew will move to Portugal himself with Princess Eugenie. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the After Tarot, which is a tarot deck that is actually a Rider-Waite tarot, but it shows us what happened after what was before what is depicted in the actual tarot, Rider-Waite tarot. So I'm using the after tarot, and I'm looking at the transitions that Prince Andrew is going through in his life, and how can he make that shift to look positively? How can he transform it into a positive transformation? So let's start by clearing the deck. I think it's shuffled enough. And let's start asking. So Prince Andrew's transition in the past few years, Prince Andrew's transition in life since he got blamed by Virginia Giuffre for sexual assault, Prince Andrew's transition since he lost his military appointments and other appointments, and since he lost his HRH and other appointments as a working royal. So what is going to be with Prince Andrew? How will his transition pan out? Okay, so the first card is a card that shows us the transition itself and the change that Prince Andrew went through his life. And the card that I'm getting is the Fool. But this is, as you can see, the Fool after he already made the jump. So he's clinging into this cliff, and he's like trying very hard to cling into what he knows. And this is exactly what Prince Andrew is going through right now. Prince Andrew is like dropped from a cliff, from a very, very high place where he was in the royal family, and his whole life is like hanging on this thread. He is just holding this. But look at the facial expression of this person, and despite the fact that he lost everything that he had in his satchel, he is taking a sniff at this flower, and he's not, it doesn't look too worried. Now, many times when we look at the Fool's card, we say that we don't know what exactly is there beyond the cliff. But here we see that the cliff is standing on top of this abyss with very deep water. So this card has a few meanings. The first meaning is that freedom has no boundaries, and that that Prince Andrew acted recklessly out of feeling that he deserves freedom. But this is a person who acts hastily, takes risks without obligations, and starting things without ending them. This is a person who is in need of change, and so a change is coming, and Prince Andrew needs that change. This is also a card that shows us that he is agitated, that he feels the danger, he's frustrated, and because of that, he might even do things that will burn the bridges behind him. But Prince Andrew right now, the best way of describing the change or the transition that he's going through is that right now he's hanging on this cliff, hoping that someone will come and pick him up, hoping that he will be able to get his tools back, but he's not too worried because he still is very, very close to his mother, the Queen. So he has this feeling that everything might be all right despite everything that is happening to him right now. So he's willing to take those risks without thinking about the results, and it might end up in frustration. It might end up with ignoring obstacles, ignoring reality as it is, and then just burning bridges behind him. But right now, this is where he is. So he is on the verge of starting something new, but he feels like he's clinging to his old life in everything that not everything, with one hand, and that he can, but he feels confident enough that he will be able to climb up back again. Okay, so the next card is, how is he coping with this shift emotionally? And what we're getting is, here's death. So death is a card that speaks about the need to start living. This is a card of change. This is another major arcana. This is a very major change, because this change is nullifying everything that happened before. So this is how he copes emotionally. He realizes that things are going to change in a way that it will not, things cannot go back. And you can see here that the sun has risen. In the death card, in the Rider-Waite, usually the sun is still looming, but here the sun has already risen, and the death is still marching on, because this change cannot be stopped. So both of these cards together just show us that there is a major change that is coming into Prince Andrew's life, and this change cannot be stopped. Things will not be able to go back. He won't be able to climb back again, because the death is nullifying everything that happened before. This means that he needs to kill everything that he knows from his previous life in order to move forward, in order to be able to start over and to begin a new life. But this is what this card is all about. It is a card of changes. It is a card of reconciling with the fact that change is something that he cannot that he has to go through. It's something that that is part of life, and it's something that he cannot stop. This is a change that has to come. So he is really hoping that he might be able to cling on to his previous life, but in his deep feelings, he knows that he cannot. He knows that he has to start thinking about how he's going to live his life from now on. And this is what this is the way he's coping emotionally, but by realizing that this change is imminent. This is something that he cannot fight against, and he needs to accept that and go further. So the next card is, what can he do to flow positively with this change? So how can he make this change into a positive change? And what we're getting here is the Queen of Pentacles. That is very interesting, because the Queen of Pentacles is usually the queen herself. She is the Taurus girl. She is the queen that is stable in front of of changes. This is the shopkeeper. This is someone who is knows how to deal with money, with inheritance, with everything that is connected with continuity. And this is the queen. This is his mother, and she's the one that he has the most, the best connection with. And he knows that if he wants to flow positively with this change, he needs to keep his mother on his side. He needs to have a good relationship with his mother. He needs to do things that will appease his mother. So this is the card that shows us that while he knows that he cannot fight the change, but in order to get the change, on a positive light, and in order to make the change not too bad for him, what he needs to do is to keep his mother happy. And once more is to understand that despite change, he needs to keep the stability going. The royal family needs stability going. The firm needs the stability, and he needs to understand that this is the main weapon of the royal family. This is the main weapon of the firm. The fact that they can withstand all changes. All the changes that the monarchy has gone through, the queen has gone through so many changes through her life, and she always stood that, and she always kept being very, very stable, and that is something that Prince Andrew needs to understand. So these two things are, one is keep the stability himself and keep his mother happy. So this is very important. And the next card is the card that asks us what something that Andrew needs to be conscious of at this time, and we're getting the card of Temperance. Now, Temperance is a card of all you need is to believe. So this is a card of believing. This is a card of flow. You can see the flow here. You can see the dove here. This is the peace dove. This is the dove, or the white dove that comes out of this cup. And there are so many symbols in this card, so I'm not going to go into all of this. But this card tells Andrew that in order to be positive about this change, he needs to remember the flow. He needs to remember that the feelings need to stay positive. And you need to look, I want you to look at this path towards the rising sun, and we already had the sun coming up here in the death card. Both of them are talking to one another. Both of these are major arcanas, and the sun is also a father, a symbol of the father. And in this instance, why my intuition tells me is that Prince Andrew's main reason or main way of staying here is, or helping his mother, is by helping her with the memory of Prince Philip. And he has done that in the service for memorial for Thanksgiving. He has been there for his mother, and this is the main role that he will have to take from now on. That is the way of helping his mother cope with the passing of his father, and this is the way of him to keep the flow, keep everything moving. Okay, so that's the card number 4. And card number 5 is how this change will look moving forward. And we get here the High Priestess. The High Priestess, that's a card of secrets, that's a card of mysteries. Prince Andrew will have to keep his mysteries. This is also a card of mother and daughter. We can see here the moon is very prominent here, and also in the High Priestess hat, and she also holds the key. This is the key to all of the mysteries. This is the key to all of the things that she's keeping, and this is the key to the secrets and the things that Prince Andrew is keeping. He cannot go after trying to save his name, trying to keep to go out with his truth. He will have to keep all of those secrets, realizing that it will cost him with what he already paid for, is HRH, is military appointments, but he might be able to keep his other appointments, his ducal title, his prince title, by keeping those secrets. So this is how this change will look moving forward. And the next card is how can he stay positive and with high vibrations, and we get the Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups is that is a great way for him to stay positive, because this is a card of second chances. This is also a card of feelings, of nostalgia, of children, of family. So this card shows us that Prince Andrew can get a second chance, but that is not a second chance with getting back the title that he already lost. The second chance is by not losing any more. And you can see here that the children here are leaving, and the whole scenery looks like a Spanish village. So this could very much tell us that he might need to leave the country, at least for a while, but leaving behind him this very orderly Six Cups. So this is about getting a second chance, but this is also about nostalgia and feelings and flow. So this card shows us that he can stay positive, he can keep the high vibrations, remembering that that he can get those Six of Cups, to get that second chance if he keeps the secrets, if he stays positive. Now I have to tell you that I already took an oracle card previously, and then the phone stopped taking photos, so I don't know why. So I'm not going to do that again. I'm going to show you first the card that I got, and the card that I got was Thriving. This is the Sacred Destiny oracle, and I was asking about Prince Andrew's destiny, and I just couldn't let go of this card of Thriving, because it is such an amazing card for understanding what his future will be. So he will be thriving, but I am going to take another card here. So Prince Andrew's Sacred Destiny, Prince Andrew's Sacred Destiny. And the second card is Community. So by keeping the community, keeping his community with his children, with his family, community with his extended family, this will help him thrive. This is just shows us a way to help him thrive. And we have the butterflies here. We have the ray of sun that is the rainbow. This is a sign of peace. This is a sign like the white dove. This shows us that peace is looming. So this change will be for the better for Andrew. So this is it for this reading. I hope you liked it, and if you did, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment, and I'll see you in the next one.